Waynesboro is an independent city in the U.S. state of Virginia. As of the 2010 census, the population was 21,006. The city is surrounded by Augusta County and is named for General Anthony Wayne. Waynesboro is located in the Shenandoah Valley, near many important historical markers of the Civil War and Shenandoah National Park. A portion of Interstate 64 falls within the city limits of Waynesboro, and a Blue Ridge Parkway, Skyline Drive, and the Appalachian Trail are less than 5 miles away. Norfolk Southern Railway trackage runs through the east side of the city. The town is perhaps best known for being the home of P. Buckley Moss and the P. Buckley Moss Museum, which attracts 45,000 visitors annually. A large DuPont plant and the associated Benga laboratory where spandex was invented, as well as a large textile mill called Wayne Tex, were significant employers for residents through much of the 20th century. A General Electric site on the northeast side, which made relays and later computer printers, was also a substantial employer. Waynesboro is home to the corporate headquarters of Delos. Tourism, industrial production, and retail remain vital to the Waynesboro economy. The Generals of the Valley Baseball League play there. Waynesboro is a principal city of the Staunton-Waynesboro Metropolitan Statistical Area, which includes all of Augusta County and the independent cities of Staunton and Waynesboro. History. Located in the British colony of Virginia, even after the American Revolution and independence and statehood for the Commonwealth of Virginia, the areas west of the Appalachian and Blue Ridge Mountains were known as the frontier. Travel over the mountains in a wagon was nearly impossible except where nature afforded some gap between them. Until after the Civil War, Jarman's Gap, only some 6 miles northeast of Waynesboro, was the major crossing of the Blue Ridge Mountains in that area, making Waynesboro a convenient location for a stop for many who wished to venture west. The area was commonly referred to as Teesville early on. There are a couple of theories for the name. First, that it was named after the tavern owned by Jacob Tees and his wife, and second, that it was named after the Tees brothers. It is believed that many stayed the night at the Tees Tavern, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and the Marquis de Chastellux. In a letter, the Marquis de Chastellux describes the tavern as one of the worst in America and affirms that Jefferson had stayed there and told him of the place. Shortly after U.S. Army General Anthony Wayne's important victory at Battle of Fallen Timbers in 1794 during the Northwest Indian War, the area began to be called Waynesboro. Since many settlers to the area were from Pennsylvania, it is not surprising that they would want the new land named after a hero from the home. Sometime after, it was called Waynesboro. As early as 1798, the current downtown area was plotted and sold. On January 8, 1801, the town Waynesboro was officially recognized by the state of Virginia, and was incorporated by 1834. Some of the remaining buildings from this period of its history include the Plum House and the Coiner Kessenbury House, built in 1806, believed to be the first brick house built in the town, which is still standing on Main Street. Population growth to the town was slow at first. In 1810, the town had a population of 250. By 1860, that number grew to 457. The town maintained a steady stream of visitors. However, due to its position on Three-Notched Road, which connected Staunton to the west with Charlottesville and Richmond to the east, it crossed the Blue Ridge through Jarman's Gap, but a railroad tunnel built through Rockfish Gap just before the Civil War began to establish Rockfish Gap as the major crossing through the mountains between Waynesboro and Charlottesville. On March 2, 1865, Waynesboro was the site of the last battle of the Civil War for the Confederate Lt. General Jubilee. Early, the Battle of Waynesboro lasted only 20 minutes, and was a final blow for the Confederate Army in the Shenandoah Valley. After losing this battle, Early relinquished the town and the valley to General Philip Sheridan. Some of the buildings from this period still show the scars from this battle. During and after the war, casualties from the nearby Valley Campaign and other battles were buried in Ridgeview Cemetery. The Waynesboro Confederate Monument in the center of the cemetery lists and commemorates the names and states. After the war, the Waynesboro area became the junction of two railroad lines, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway and the Shenandoah Valley Railroad, which soon became the Norfolk and Western Railway. The lines met near Waynesboro, giving the town the nickname of the Iron Cross. In 1890, land to the east of Waynesboro was plotted and sold. Within that year, the town of Basic City was incorporated. A rivalry soon developed between the two towns, each attempting to best the other as the more developed area. One important difference between the two was that Waynesboro had been a dry area since before the Civil War. This meant that no alcohol could be sold within the town's borders. Such was not the case in Basic City, where bars were opened for the benefit of Basic citizens. The two towns voted for and approved of consolidation into a single town to be called Waynesboro Basic in 1923. Due to the duplicitous actions of some of Waynesboro's town leaders, namely Guy Brannaman, the petition given to the state referred to the new town as merely Waynesboro. This became official in 1924, to the great outrage of the people of Basic City. Since 1924, Waynesboro has made numerous territorial acquisitions from areas of Augusta County through annexation and officially became an independent city in 1948. In 2005, Waynesboro established a new charter, repealing one in place since 1948. Swannanoa was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1969. Geography. Waynesboro is located at 38.06972 degrees north, 78.8944 degrees west, 38.06972 minus 78.8944. It is 1,305 feet above sea level. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 15.2 square miles, of which 15.0 square miles is land and 0.2 square miles is water. Demographics. As of the census of 2010, there were 21,006 people, 8,903 households, and 5,589 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,364 people per square mile. There were 9,717 housing units at an average density of 631 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 82.2% white, 10.6% African American, 0.3% Native American, 0.7% Asian, 0.02% Pacific Islander, 2.9% from other races, and 3.2% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 6.4% of the population. There were 8,903 households, out of which 27.1% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 42.4% were married couples living together. 15.3% had a female householder with no husband present, and 37.2% were non-families. 30.8% of all households were made up of individuals and 11.9% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.34 and the average family size was 2.90. In the city, the population was spread out with 23.3% under the age of 18, 8.2% from 18 to 24, 25.8% from 25 to 44, 25.7% from 45 to 64, and 17.0% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 38.8 years. For every 100 females there were 91.5 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 85.7 males. The median income for a household in the city was $41,077, and the median income for a family was $55,668. Males had a median income of $36,013 versus $30,699 for females. The per capita income for the city was $24,372. About 12.9% of families and 18.0% of the population were below the poverty line, including 27.6% of those under age 18 and 11.0% of those age 65 or over. Education. Waynesboro is the home of Fishburne Military School, an all-male military boarding school for grades 8 to 12. It sits on a hill overlooking the downtown area. The Waynesboro City Public School System serves the area. Media. Waynesboro's local newspaper is the News Virginian. 2 movies have filmed scenes in Waynesboro: Toy Soldiers and Evan Almighty.